Okay, we're going to take it now one step further. Because you're so smart, we can do that. I can use that formula in a little bit different, well, it's actually using it the same way, but I'm using it in addition to another thing, okay? So we can use this slope formula to find a missing coordinate. So what they're telling me here is I have this coordinate, negative 2, 6, and I have this coordinate, r negative 4. But they're telling me the answer now. They're telling me that m equals negative 5. All the ones I just did, I solved for m. Here, they're giving me m. But I'm missing one of the coordinates. So our job is going to be to find the value of the coordinate. Now, before I even begin, if you really get math well, some of you are going to be able to see the answer without doing the work. That's your choice. Some of them you can't, though. So you got to know how to do the math. Because some of them aren't going to be obvious. You can look at it and get the answers. Okay? So, here we go. We're going to set it up the same way. We're going to take y minus y, so 6 minus negative 4, over x minus x, negative 2 minus r, this time it's just a variable, on one of the numbers. So I'm setting it up using my slope formula, except this time I know the answer. I know that this is going to equal negative 5. I know what the answer is. They told me it's going to be negative 5. And now we're going to solve this using things we did back in goal 2.4, okay, where we solved equations that looked really almost just like this, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is take that 6 minus negative 4, and I'm going to calculate that. So that minus minus becomes plus, and I get 10. Negative 5 needs to be written as a fraction so that you can see how this works. So I write that as what? Negative 5 is a fraction. How do I make that a fraction? Negative 5 over 1. Just put a 1 down there. And then to solve this, anybody have any recollection of solving something like this? Will?
Do you multiply it by negative 2?
No. Grady?
Wouldn't you just do 10 divided by negative 2?
No. It'll look familiar as soon as I show you. We're going to cross multiply. So I'm going to take 10 times 1, which is 10, equals, set them equal then, negative 5 times the quantity, negative 2 minus r. So cross multiplication. That's how we did this back in goal 2.4. So 10 times 1 is 10. Set that equal to the other product, negative 5 times the quantity, negative 2 minus r. And then I'm going to solve this. So 10 equals, distribute, positive 10 plus 5r. Get that r alone, subtract 10. So 0 equals 5r, and divide by 5. And r is 0. So the value of this x right here is 0. So if I actually put a 0 there and then worked it out like I did the other problems, I would get negative 5. Yes?
How did you get the positive 10? Because, oh wait, no, I didn't see it. There you go.
Okay, we're going to do 2 more problems like that. And hopefully you'll get that down, repetition. Okay, so I'm going to set it up the same. Y minus y, so 2 minus 3 y minus y, over x minus x, r minus 6. And I know that that answer is going to be 2/3. They're telling me that the answer is 2/3. I've got my fraction, so I don't need to put it over 1 because I've already got a denominator. So I'm going to take my 2 minus 3 and get negative 1. Do that calculation there. And then I'm going to cross multiply. Set them equal. Negative 1 times 3, negative 3. 2 times the quantity, r minus 6. You could save yourself a step there, and you could go ahead and distribute right there if you wanted to, if you make sure you know. I want to make sure you see what I got before I distribute, okay? But if you want, you could distribute right there before that. So now I'm going to distribute 2 times r, 2r, 2 times minus 6, minus 12. We're solving for r, so we're going to add 12 to both sides. I have a problem saying r's. So 9 equals 2r. Divide by 2. And r is 9/2. And you can just leave it a fraction. If you made it a decimal, that's okay too. Okay, and my last one of these. I'm going to set it up using my slope formula the same way. Set it up using your slope formula. So, r, which is my y, minus the other y. So, r minus a negative 1. X minus x, 8 minus 6. So again, y minus y over x minus x, and that equals, I know the answer, it equals 8. Which I'm going to write over 1. So a couple things before I set this up. In my numerator, my minus minus becomes plus plus. In my denominator, 8 minus 6 is 2. And then I'm going to cross multiply. R plus 1 times 1. Anything times 1 is the thing you're multiplying by. So just R plus 1 equals 8 times 2, 16. So when I cross multiply, R plus 1 times 1 is just going to give me that R plus 1. 8 times 2, 16. And then a simple solve, all I got to do is subtract 1. So I didn't have to distribute, I didn't have to divide. R is 15.